So I come from an activist background. I have all my little leftist credentials. I went to extremely leftist universities. I pursued careers in social justice. I worked that worldview into every single part of my life. I was a community organizer for LGBT issues and every leftist cause under the sun. I was what you could call a true believer. An anti-capitalist, an anti-racist, a feminist lesbian, with all of the little intersecting identities to go with it. And yeah, I saw the extremists on my side. I thought they were laughable and insane even, but I still believed we were on the right side. I saw myself as the reasonable one, the practical one. And from my view, from what I had been taught, the world was burning because of straight white men and capitalism, and they needed to be stopped at all costs. So even though the crazies were crazying, I felt like at the end of the day, we're on the right side of things, and there's gonna be extremists. So they shouldn't stop me, right? I remember being swept up in the hysteria around MAGA extremism and white Christian nationalism. Part of me knew it was overblown, but the constant paranoia pumped into my ear by outlets like Democracy Now! And the mainstream media in general made me start to believe my own life was at risk and fascism was actually imminent. I even helped to organize a protest against Donald Trump during the 2020 election. But with every revelation that Trump was innocent of what he had been accused of, with every race hoax, with every fake hate crime, with every activist cult that kept popping up, and man, there were so many, the cognitive dissonance just became too hard to ignore. And about 2 years ago, I was finally at a breaking point and started to really question things. I had watched the fruits of everything I believed rot right off the ideological tree. The politics, the identities, the activism, all of it was depraved, unhinged, and absolutely poisonous. But I genuinely didn't know why. And because of that lack of understanding, I felt stuck. Like I couldn't leave because the other side is totally evil, right? But I couldn't stay because it was spiritually degrading me. That's when I started The Mirror. It was like a discussion and research group for questioning leftists like myself, people who knew that things weren't adding up and were actually willing to go across the aisle to try to break through our echo chambers and find some answers. And that's when I first found Charlie Kirk's work. At first, I hated him. He had this whole white boy jock bravado I had really come to despise, but then I listened, and he spoke with nothing but grace, confidence, and authority. He debated people I once thought were brilliant and easily exposed them as brainwashed shells who couldn't even defend their own ideas. He was respectful, open, and unashamed to be himself, a white Christian man standing firmly on his values. For me, that was shocking and honestly refreshing. I had never heard someone like him speak with so much conviction and clarity, and I had to respect it. On the left, you learn to swallow obvious truths, to jam them down, to pretend they don't exist. Hearing them spoken out loud, without apology, without excuse, that was incredible to me. It made me realize I wasn't crazy. The left's ideas really weren't rational. And they really were as destructive and backwards as they seem. Charlie made me realize there was another way. That people like him, the very people I had been taught to fear, weren't evil at all. They weren't the enemy. Many of them were actually thoughtful, decent, good people. And to my surprise, even kind of cool. I believed the narratives that gender ideology was compassion, that transition surgeries would save lives, that riots were justice, that Trump was evil, that America was a white supremacist country hell-bent on oppressing black people. But in a few short years, I saw detransitioners mutilated. I saw children groomed and confused. I saw BLM and countless leftist organizations exposed as corrupt. I saw Trump vindicated against years of politically motivated attacks. I saw black communities burned down in the name of justice. When I finally stopped to listen to the other side, I could see the reality of what I had been advocating for and uplifting. The sickness and the decay at the heart of leftist politics and activism, and every part of the community I once trusted. Charlie Kirk held up a mirror to all of that. He extended his hand to people who had nothing but hate and vitriol towards him. And because he cared enough to face us with honesty, he led thousands out of deception and into truth, including me.
Small-face fascist!
Who identify as trans women.
Small-face fascist! Small-face fascist!
Why is that valid?
Leftist fascist.
How am I a fascist?
Guys, start barking. That will work. Bark.
Do you want to talk?
Bark. Bark. That's right.
So I would just say, I think you, I hate you.
Yeah. Would you like to have a substantive conversation or?
A substitute?
Yeah.
A substitute? No, man. I
No,
just think you're a f***ing asshole.
Would you like to have a conversation?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like you. I think you spread hate. I think you spread bigotry. I think you piss a lot of people off because I mean, you're just an awful person. I don't think you really want to debate because you're just here to piss people off and energize your crowd of racists.
What have I ever said that's racist?
Oh, what?
Can you name one thing?
I'm
You're gonna
Hispanic and I support Charlie.
Can you name
Does that mean anything?
Can you name a second thing I've ever said that's racist?
I think you're just trying to play a game, and I think this is obviously going to be used.
What
in
have
your
I ever
favor,
said
but
that's
I just want to
hateful?
hate you. You're awful. Get off my campus.
When have I ever said anything that's hateful? Have a nice day. He can't say anything I've ever said that's racist because I've never said anything that's racist. That is the American left in one picture, everybody. Lots of rage and no wisdom.
Yesterday, Charlie Kirk was assassinated, shot in broad daylight, killed for practicing what the left preaches but rarely embodies: true compassion, free speech, and genuine open dialogue. And what do we see in response? Blame shifted to conservatives for daring to speak their mind in public, and even celebration of his murder.
Yes, he deserves to die, and I hope he burns in hell.
I am absolutely disgusted and horrified that this is the movement I once gave my life to. I've kept quiet until now because I didn't want to lose friends or relationships. I thought if I tiptoed around how I really felt, how I had really changed, I could keep the door open. Maybe there could be dialogue. But today I'm done. I am unapologetically walking away from the left and the Democrat Party. I refuse to be associated with a movement that champions death and silences dissent. If that means doors close because of it, if that means I'm labeled, I guess this is goodbye. I pray for the courage Charlie Kirk had. He gave people who hated him the dignity of dialogue and truth, even when they clung desperately to lies and had nothing but hatred in their hearts. I hope I can stand with that much fortitude, with that much love for mankind, even though my faith for people is gone. And I pray that this serves as a warning to those on the left, quietly holding on to the illusion that you're still on the right side. You have been lied to. Your compassion has been exploited, and you have been manipulated into complicity with evil. None of us can afford to keep towing the line around this. And I refuse to obscure the truth anymore just to make sure people are comfortable with the cold, hard reality of the situation. Please understand, you will never be small enough, appeasable enough, or obedient enough to be safe where you stand. Stop hiding. Stop shrinking. Speak the truth out loud before it's too late. And for God's sake, find the courage to walk away. I pray Charlie's murder will be a wake-up call, that millions will rise in his place to say enough. Enough of the lies, enough of the violence, enough of this woke mind virus that has warped half the country into thinking free speech is violence and actual murder is virtue. I pray for peace and strength for his family, and I pray for justice.
I go around universities and have challenging conversations, and because that's what is so important to our country, is to find our disagreements respectfully, because when people stop talking, that's when violence happens.
I've never seen someone do this.
Well, it's a growing trend because people like me are facing violence, assaults, the left. Yes, the campus Antifa. I've been stormed out of restaurants. I've been assaulted publicly, multiple death threats.
Okay, so what's your goal in all this?
There's more people that agree with me than some people would actually believe, and they come out of the woodwork when I do stuff like this. We record all of it so that we put on the internet so people can see these ideas collide. When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. That's when civil war happens, because you start to think the other side is so evil and they lose their humanity.